Hello? Okay. Good evening, families, guests, staff, and graduates. Welcome to the Sunday night graduation ceremony and celebration of the class of 2020. I'm Fat Messiah, and I have attended Wayland Public Schools my entire life. As the youngest of 5 children who have all went through Wayland Public Schools, I am honored to welcome you all to this celebration. I was the captain of the field hockey team and leader of Students Against Destructive Decisions, Power, which is a club that fights for civic engagement and social justice, and lastly, Mentors in Violence Prevention. I've spent the last 4 years making connections with staff, peers, and coaches, and I've loved every second of it. I want to thank you all for coming today and joining us on this very special night. This evening marks a special moment in time where we all come together and celebrate what my amazing class has not only achieved but overcome. Yet today also marks a day where we embark on a journey to the next chapter of our lives. I wish you all the best, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds. It is my pleasure to begin our ceremony by introducing Emma Kiernan, who will be performing our national anthem. In keeping with our health and safety protocol, we ask that you refrain from singing along. Now please rise for the performance of our national anthem. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Emma and Fatma, for welcoming us to this amazing event, the grand finale of a magical weekend of celebrating this grand class of 2020. Good afternoon, families, community members, colleagues, guests, and most importantly, graduates. Thank you for joining us on this glorious afternoon. Welcome to the new Wayland High School Stadium, which was completed just weeks ago and just in time to provide an appropriate and stunning backdrop for celebrating this wonderful class. Several months ago, in the midst of our school closure, Ms. Cole, Mr. Krasnew, and I had a series of conversations with the senior class executive board about graduation. At that point, our options for celebrating the class seemed quite bleak. We were looking at planning a drive-through graduation, maybe renting out a drive-in movie theater, or even postponing a traditional ceremony until sometime next year. But in June, we learned that the state guidance was changing, and smaller in-person ceremonies would be possible. To our students, no graduation would feel complete unless they were in the company of their peers and their family in our new stadium, wearing a cap and gown, with a stage to cross and a diploma to receive. Today, scores of emails, spreadsheets, diagrams, and Google Docs later, along with a tape measure and your partnership and collaboration, we are here to graduate and celebrate this great class with joy and pride. We also know that we are celebrating in the midst of a global pandemic. We want to celebrate our graduates, but we also want to keep each other safe and healthy. So in collaboration with the Board of Health and other town agencies, we have developed the safety protocols that appear in your program insert. I ask you to review them if you haven't already, including the primary expectations of staying within your pod, please remaining socially distant from others who are not in your family group, and please wear a mask at all times. Unless you are a graduate having your picture taken, you will have 2 opportunities to have your picture taken here on stage. You may remove your mask if you're comfortable, or once you leave the stage, there will be another photo opportunity. Also, obviously, speakers and performers will be removing their masks. If there is an emergency, we ask that you signal to us. We do have staff members here who are happy to assist you for any reason. I know it's hot and sticky. It's the end of July, but we do thank you so much for adhering to these safety protocols, which makes all of this possible and safe at the same time. It is now my pleasure to turn over the microphone to Jeannie Downs, our school committee chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Well, it's so great to see everyone. On behalf of the school committee, welcome, graduates and families. It's so nice to be here. Who would have thought that on March 1st, we would have a global pandemic this spring that shut everything down, caused graduation to be in mid-July, and in 4 separate ceremonies? Certainly I didn't. This in-person graduation took a lot of planning, and I can't thank enough Miss Mizuguchi, Miss Cole, Mr. Krasnu, and the many others who helped make it happen. Thank you. Graduates, it has been quite a year. One you will definitely never forget. You've shown grit and determination through it all. I've watched many of you as you've grown up, and I've been constantly impressed as you stand up for what you believe in and act on it. Whether it's the walkout in support of the Parkland students killed and against gun violence, advocating at school committee meetings for decisions affecting you and your fellow classmates, joining the Black Lives Matter vigils, or sharing your voice in the BIPOC Instagram, you're taking action. Your generation has an incredible opportunity to continue taking action and making a true difference in our world. Civil rights leader and Congressman John Lewis once said, "When you see evil, see something not fair, not right, not just, you have a moral obligation to say something." My hope for you is that you will continue to fight for what is right and do it with grace, compassion, and kindness. We live in a time where the political discord in our country is divisive. It's all of you who can help bring us together. You will stumble along the way, as we all do at various times in our lives, particularly when we step outside of our comfort zone. But don't let that stop you. Learn from it and press on. It's the only way to change the world. If we all show a little grace to others, compassion for others, and kindness in all we do, we will make the world a better place. I'll leave you with some words from the U2 song Grace, which particularly struck me when I first heard them. Because grace makes beauty out of ugly things, grace finds beauty in everything, grace finds goodness in everything. Class of 2020, congratulations. Best of luck with this new chapter of your life. I can't wait to hear what you all do. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce our student speaker, Ryan Urato.
Hello. All right. Wow, looks even weirder from up here. am I allowed to move this up a little? Okay. Hold on one sec. Okay. Hi, everyone. First of all, congratulations on graduating. This is obviously a big deal for a lot of reasons. And I know we may stand up here and say, oh, you've worked so hard, and you've made it through, and you've done this, and this, and this. My guess is that this accomplishment means something different to everyone, and that really only you individually know how to define it. So, congratulations on whatever it may be. Now, this is also a collective accomplishment for our entire class, which is along the lines of what I would like to talk about. So, when I first came to Wayland in 5th grade, and I'm a member of the class of 2020, right? One of the first things that people told me is how great the class of 2019 was. Some teachers said it was their best class ever. They were diligent, understanding, they followed all the rules, they did everything right. And then there was our class. Apparently we were very naughty. I've been told multiple times over the past several years, Ryan, I've heard bad things about your class. And I have to say, I completely disagree. And not because our class did not cause trouble. As many times as Mr. Nocito assured us that we would be the first class ever to have 0 demerits, I'm not sure that it completely worked. So it's not that these things didn't happen, but it's exactly because they did happen that I admire this class very much. Now, you know me, right? I'm a total rule follower. I don't like conflict. I don't like to get into trouble. When an authority figure tells me what to do, my first instinct is to do it. I like to stay on the good side, to play it safe. The problem is that we live in a very screwed up world. And in many areas of this world, the people in power often don't have our best interests at heart. So this is not the case with teachers or parents. I'm not talking about that. Anyway, my approach, the approach of compliance and acceptance and stay on everyone's good side, does not solve systemic societal problems. And our world has lots of those problems. In fact, the compliance approach is actually detrimental to the success of any group that is trying to solve those problems. You may think that by staying out of the fray, by letting battles be fought by people who have a stake in the game, and otherwise just going about your own life and doing what you're supposed to do, you may think that you're staying neutral. But in such cases where a small group of people rules over a majority, there is really no such thing as neutral. Staying in your place, playing it safe, staying silent, doing whatever you're supposed to do, these things score points for the oppressors. This is why we have to be willing to fight back and refuse to sit by while unsolved problems get worse. Compliance and acceptance of the status quo is a very safe option for you individually. It takes a lot more courage to stand up for what you believe in. So, this is why I have so much respect for this class and so much confidence in this class's ability to help solve problems. It's not the naughty things that we've done that we should try to do again. It's the spirit of resistance that you should never let go of. Obviously, hold it in check and know when and how to use it, but please don't lose it. I think it's a very admirable quality, and I know you probably haven't been given credit for it up until now. I see it as becoming very important. In the words of civil rights leader John Lewis, never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble necessary trouble. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you guys for an awesome last many years. I love you guys. I will miss you very much. And have a good rest of your summer and life. Thank you. And now, coming onto the stage, cellist Michael Liu and bassist Jesse Wong playing one of Nicholas Walker's duets for cello and double bass called, oh dang, I forget the name. What's the name? Paris Skies. In my bag, maybe. Thank you. Okay. I might not catch this. The wind is crazy. I knew I should have memorized this question. I'm gonna put on the side. I think it's okay. I'll work with this. This one. That'd be good.
That was incredible. I am amazed. Thank you so much to Michael and Jesse for that beautiful, transporting piece, and to Ryan for such a poignant set of remarks. Thank you so much. And this is representative of this class, right? Each and every one of you has such an incredible set of talents that we could showcase on this stage. So today, my role officially is to present all of you, the class of 2020, to our superintendent, Dr. Unobsky, and to promise and to certify that you have done everything it takes to rightfully earn your Wayland High School diploma. I am pleased to say that not only has each of you completed the requirements for a diploma, but you have enriched Wayland High School with your presence. You have been a resilient, spirited, talented class, facing unprecedented challenge and disappointment with mind-boggling maturity and grace. We have each been inspired by your strength with which you faced not only the end of your senior year, but also how you face your futures now. It is easy to let the last 12 weeks of your senior year overshadow the other 148 weeks of your high school career. It may be easy to forget that the end of your senior year was but one page in the much larger book of a bright, successful educational journey at Wayland High School. One corner of the masterpiece of one corner of the canvas of a beautiful masterpiece. The class of 2020 has been an impressive and cohesive group of leaders, artists, athletes, scholars, activists, peacemakers, thinkers, and friends. You are curious, hardworking students who want to learn about and question the world around you. You have led our impressive and award-winning journalism program, debate team, mock trial team. You have captained winning athletic teams. You have learned languages, solved problems, created art. You have organized hackathons. You have danced and sung and acted on stage. You have brought music to our lives. You have questioned authority, but with respect, and you have eloquently asserted your opinions on the important issues of our time, such as women's rights, environmentalism, gun control, institutional racism, and the role of a free press in democracy. You have spent the last 4 years elevating and strengthening our school community with your passion, your drive, and with your care and kindness, and we thank you for it. As you arrived here today, you drove by the Senior Rock, which this year has been painted a beautiful orange and black cityscape with your motto, Visionary, written upon it. Beyond a cute reference to the number 2020, the word visionary gives me a brief chance to reflect on who you have been as a class and who you will be as individuals as you leave this place. A visionary is not someone who knows the future or predicts the future. No one can really do that. But rather, a visionary imagines the best version of the future that is the most innovative, the most imaginative, the ideal version of our current reality. And when you think about the visionary leaders, visionary artists, scientists, writers, they are the rare ones who saw something that few others did. And not only did they see it, but they made it happen. When we think about the visionaries of our time, and we are living among them, they often had to fight for their vision of the future. They had to engage in battle to get there. But that wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part was seeing the goodness to begin with and believing that the future held something better. Given the strange and scary world that we live in right now, full of threat and indeterminacy, it takes the very best of us, and perhaps, Ryan, the least compliant of us, to remain visionaries and to see the other side of a pandemic, of racial injustice, of equal rights for all, of the many complex issues that plague us right now. But I know, class of 2020, that you will lead us there. What you have shown us in the last 4 years in your capacity for curiosity, hard work, goodness, and joy is that you are incredible individuals. But what you have shown us in the last 3 months in your capacity for resilience, strength, and hope is that you are visionaries. You see the best in the world, and I am confident that you will help take us there. Dr. Yanofsky, it is my honor to present the class of 2020 to you. I attest that these students have successfully completed all of the requirements for a Wayland High School diploma. Moreover, through their accomplishments and spirit and service, they have collectively and indelibly enriched our school community. Thank you, class of 2020, and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Mizuguchi. What a privilege and pleasure it is to be with you today. This is a very special class indeed. Family, friends, teachers and administrators and school committee. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you to the teachers and administrators for putting this event together. I have a sense of a couple of things that you may be feeling right now, students and parents. I've had the privilege of having my oldest son, who just graduated from college, home for the past 3 or 4 months. And for me, it's been wonderful. It's allowed me to chit-chat at dinner, throw the baseball around, time that I thought I wouldn't have. For him, maybe not so much. He probably could have applied for a little more social distancing within the house. But I also hope that beyond feeling maybe slightly claustrophobic, you should also feel satisfied. I think back to a television show that I loved, Friday Night Lights, and the coach who would exhort his players before they played an important practice or game by saying, "Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose." And I've seen that from all of you, from my perch of proposing things and discussing things with you, whether they be school start time or other things that affect you. You have come to me with clear eyes, clear arguments, clear feelings, and a full heart, an understanding of the implications for your family, your friends, your teachers, and yourself. And I know that in addition to all that you will accomplish for us, in addition to the clarity and the fullness you'll bring to what you do after this and to make this a better place, you also should feel satisfied that you've reached across the barriers that we've had to impose for our own safety with social distancing and have deepened your relationships with each other. You've found ways to connect, and you've experienced this very difficult time together so that in years from now, when all this COVID stuff is behind us, you will be the envy of other classes because of the closeness and respect you share for each other, having gone through this. So thank you for the last 13 years, what you've brought to our community, and congratulations, class of 2020. And now, Dr. Mizuguchi, it's time for the presentation of the diplomas.
All right, graduates, are we ready? Let's do this. So here's how the process will work. Ms. Cole will be beckoning you by row to head to the outside of the row, and then you will line up socially distanced in front of us toward the stage. When your name is called, obviously head onto stage. Once again, if you feel comfortable, you may remove your mask. You'll have your picture taken. When you leave the stage on the opposite side, there's another opportunity to smile for the camera. And you'll head back to your seats through the middle row of the field. And our first graduate this evening is Emma Catherine Kiernan. Fatma Azara Saye. The class of 2020 class valedictorian, Ryan Urato. Jesse Eric Wong. Samantha Grace Barron. Ethan Joseph Betancourt. Ezekiel Crispin Betancourt. Mason Brady Bolivar. Aiden Michael Bonner. Okay, sorry. Joshua Alexander Bryant. Julia Mary Collini. Carly Camphausen. Gavin James Davies. Sarah Lynn Davis. Ryan Dowling. Joshua David Ellenbogen. Matt Gilbert. Jane Marie Greenaway. Aaron Greenberg. Shaylin Rose Hanlon. Stone Harris. Jasper Shu. Nikolai Dmitry Ilyin. Cameron Evan Jones. Mallory Catherine Leonard. Chen Long. Abigail Shannon McDonald. Jenna Kimberly Martin. Good job, Ika. George Chen Natsis. Caitlin Rose Newton. Molly O'Driscoll. Julia Myung-hee Pak. Aviva Hannah Pansavoy. Kayla Ann Polson. Rohini Ramesh. Caroline Melissa Raymond. Carly Roy. Skylar Rubin. Erica Alexandra Schofield. Emma Connolly Sheehan. Jacob Stephen Simmons. Megan Puishan Sin. Owen Smith. Elliot Starr. Savannah Alden Sugar. Felix Chandler Beach Thompson. Melissa Ann Tilley. Kay Elizabeth Tilley. Sydney Samuel Toga. Rachel Tolmach. Isabella Van Royen. Let's hear it for these graduates, the class of 2020. Well done, everybody. It's July, you have your diploma, it's official. There is one last symbolic act that we ask you to engage in right now to make it all very official. If all of the graduates would please rise. And there's this thing about moving your tassel from right to left. So if you'd please do that, sort of in the symbolic union of collective accomplishment here. You are now officially Wayland High School graduates. You can imagine tossing your hat in the air, which you won't do today. It has been such a pleasure spending the afternoon with you, celebrating these incredible students. It's wonderful to see families and friends that we have missed for a long time. I'd like to thank Mr. Krasner and Ms. Golden, who have fearlessly been helping here distribute the diplomas, Ms. Downs, Dr. Unobsky for coming to all of our ceremonies, Ms. Cole for being such a champion, and we have a lot of wonderful staff members that have trickled in and out this weekend wanting to see you graduate. They send you their best, even if their presence is not here today. We're so very proud of you, class of 2020. So for dismissal, what we're going to do is I will actually ask rows to depart one at a time. We're going to start with my left side in the first row. So your right side first row. When you are comfortable and ready, if the first row on my left would rise and make your way to the exit, we thank you so much for joining us. And I will be calling you by row. We'll make it as snappy as we possibly can here to get you out of the heat. Thank you once again. You're right. You are free to depart when you're comfortable. Thank you. Folks on my left, you're right, the third row. You're free to depart. Thank you. In the fourth row on my left, you're welcome to depart. Thank you. And now the fifth row on my left. Fifth and sixth row, thank you very much for coming. Your left, the first row is welcome to depart when you feel safe and comfortable, ready to go. The second row on my right, you may depart. Thank you. On my right may depart. Thank you. The fourth row on my right, you may depart. Thank you. right, and the last row, feel free to depart. Thank you. Fun times happen.